Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Brew Talk with Mr.Beer. My name is Robert Lewis, your host for today's show, our first episode of the new year. Just want to wish everybody a happy new year. Hope you guys had a great holiday weekend. Hope you had a great family or great holiday season so far. Christmas has come and gone. Holidays are over. New Year's is past. Now it's back to just the regular grind and drinking beer and brewing beer. Before we dive into our topic today, talk about what I'm drinking, I have our Classic American Light Standard refill. Still coming off a cold a little bit, so trying to stick to light beer. Figure that may or may not help. I don't know. Seems to be helping a little bit, I guess. Who knows? So this time of year, we always get a lot of new brewers. So if you watched our Christmas episode, you kind of talked about it's more of a welcoming to our new brewers, how our site works, things we do, stuff like that. And I want to make sure that to do some tips for some new brewers, some of the most important things that to keep in mind when you're brewing up your first batch or after you've brewed 100 batches, just a good refresher for you on kind of things that are important and things that you need to keep, to familiarize, to keep going good in the process, stuff like that. The first tip is make sure you use your beer kit. I mean, a lot of people get kits as a gift and they kind of put it away and forget about it. Brew that kit, man. You got to brew up some beer. It's going to blow you away the quality of beer you can make. You can talk to a lot of the guys that started with Mr.Beer, especially in our Facebook group. Like once they brewed that first batch, you're hooked, especially with the countless varieties and options that you can build out there. Make sure to use your kit. Don't store your kit. Brew it up, have some fun. So the first step, the few things we're going to talk about, obviously, the first most important thing is sanitizing all your equipment. This is probably the most crucial part of brewing. It's a part that is kind of probably mundane that most people don't like, that you have to do every single time. But if you do not sanitize any of your equipment properly, it will not get clean. You can get infected batches, you can get bad beer, it can ruin your entire experience of brewing beer. And this goes for anything that you're brewing. No matter what kit you're using, what process you're using, you need to make sure you're sanitizing everything that will come in contact with your beer. It's better to be overcautious and undercautious with this, so I sanitize everything. So make sure that you're following the steps we outline in the instructions. Make sure you are sanitizing everything that you possibly can that you will be using to make sure that you do not get an infected batch. I mean, every once in a while it does happen. Batches do get infected. It's just the process of using yeast and live bacteria and all that stuff like that. But the better you get good at these habits of sanitizing everything, that will reduce the risk of you getting a bad batch. Another crucial part is temperature. You want to make sure you can hold the right temp when you are brewing your beer, because if your temperature is too high, you can get off flavors. Too low, your beer won't properly ferment. That's probably one of the more variable factors, that everyone's house is different, everyone's setup is different. So make sure you're holding the right temps. If you're brewing with Mr.Beer, we recommend your temps be between ideal range of 70-72. The max range is kind of like 68 to 76, but you really want to be in that 70-72 range. We keep our brew room here in the office at 70 degrees for everything we brew. That is where we get the best results. That is where our yeast tends to work the best. So that is what we recommend everyone also brew, 70-72 degrees. It will work best for you. Make sure you can hold that temp. We do have some videos, depending on where you live, on how to keep your fermenter warm during the winter months, and then how to keep it cool during summer, so you can kind of keep brewing all year round. So make sure to check out those videos. All those are on our YouTube page. You can also find those on our mrbeer.com/blog. Another important part is water. Make sure you're using good water. If you're using heavily, like water that has a lot of chlorine in it from your tap, you get off flavors in your beer. I mean, the best to use is like just go to the store and buy 2 gallons of bottled water, like filtered spring water works fine. If you have a Brita, you can use something like that. If you have a faucet on your sink, you can use something like that. Just be cautious of the water you're using. If you drink your tap water, you're most likely fine. But if you want it for your first batch, make sure you're doing it the correct way. I'd buy some bottled water just to make sure that it comes out well. 2 gallons will work well for you. Also, you make sure that you're following the instructions that are outlined for you. If your kit, make sure you're following the instructions in your kit. If you're not sure what instructions you want to use, which ones are the right ones, you see conflicting information out there, go to our website, search for whatever you're brewing. So if you got a kit and you're brewing like the Gold Nail, go to our website, search the Gold Nail refill. On the refill page, you'll have the instructions will come up right there. You can download them, print them out. You can just read right off the website. They're all right there. Just make sure you're following those instructions. For all the refills, the instructions are pretty much the exact same. Some have boosters, some do not, is the only variable you'll get in there. So just make sure that you are looking at our website for the most recent instructions. They're always on the product page, so make sure you're looking for that product for the instructions that you're brewing. I think the last thing is probably the most crucial part of your first batch. I mean, I brewed my first batch well over 6 years ago now. It's just having patience. Beer has to ferment, has to do its thing. You can't rush the process of fermenting beer. It's impossible to do that. So just have patience, let it age a little bit. If you rush things or do things a little tricky, you can do bad sanitization. You can bottle your beer too early. You can have off flavors. You can just have all kinds of things going on. Just make sure that you have patience. I think when my first batch, I bottled it super early because I was so excited, and it tasted decent. It was okay beer, but it was nothing like I've tasted off of following the instructions and letting things go. So just make sure that have a little patience. Let it do its thing. Let it ferment once it's done. Let it bottle. Let it age a little bit. Let it condition, and you'll be good to go. I think that is the hardest part for the new brewer to kind of do, is just have those patience. But once you get down the process, you'll be good to go. And once you build a few batches and get a good pipeline of beer built up, patience doesn't matter because you have a bunch of beers you can select from to drink in the meantime. I think it's just building like those, when you're brewing like those first like 1 to like 3 or 4 batches is where like patience is really hard, and you just want to drink that beer now, but just wait a little bit. I promise you the wait will be worth it. So that's going to wrap up our episode for today. I hope you guys all have a great holiday day. Happy New Year to everyone out there. We're looking forward to brewing some awesome beers this year. We're coming with some great new recipes. We have Zach and Ashley already working hard on coming out with some new stuff for you guys. So keep it on the website. We're always launching new things. If you have any questions, send us an email, chat with us, message us on Facebook. And make sure if you're new, you join our Facebook group, Mr.Beer's Brewing Society. You can find this by going to Facebook and searching Mr.Beer's Brewing Society, or going to our Mr.Beer Facebook page, clicking on groups and hit join. We ask that you answer 3 questions, and we'll let you know when to answer the 3. So just make sure to do that. It's a fun group, a ton of people. You'll learn a lot in there, and really help you along the way and help you with your brewing journey. Hope you guys all have a great day. Great holiday. Happy New Year's, everyone. Enjoy some homebrew today. Cheers, guys.